Hello and welcome to Politically. It is primary election night in Washington State. I am here in Olympia, down here in Thurston County, and I just wanted to do a live reaction video as we check out the first batch of results that are apparently being posted as we speak here at 8 o'clock here on primary election night. So, um, basically, election night is typically, first of all, primary elections are huge in my book because as a leftist, there are not a lot of leftist candidates left once you get to the general election. So the real battle for us is just getting through the primaries in many cases, at least locally and statewide, right, in the top two primary system here in Washington State. So primaries are huge. They're very stressful, and as a leftist, I am well acquainted with the feeling of not doing well on on election night. So um, we'll see. We'll see. Let's take a look and see what happens. Before I refresh and see some results, um, candidates that I am, or races and candidates that I'm really looking at. I really want to see who gets into the top two in the congressional district 10 race to replace Denny Heck. You know, will it be two centrist Democrats? Christine Reeves and Marilyn Strickland. Is Beth Dolio get into the top two? Are we going to get a surprisingly strong finish from Joshua Collins? I would love to see that, but it's of course a long shot. But primaries can be a surprise, and so that's seeing what happens with that race, seeing what happens in the Thurston County Commissioner District 1 race. I would love to see Carolina Mejia face off with Rory Somerson in the general, but that would be a best case scenario. And like I said, I'm used to a lot of disappointments on primary night. So as a leftist, and same thing with Legislative District 22, Position 1, where I would love to see Johnny Mead, or I mean, sorry, that's the other one. Johnny Mead is the Position 1. I'd love to see him do well. Position 2, I would love to see Mary Ellen Biggerstaff face off with Glenda Breiler in the general, but that would again be best case scenario, and you know, so we'll see. Let's check it out. The links are below. This is the Thurston County page, and you just go to the current election page. You click on election results, and they are not live yet. Okay, well, it's only 8:03. So we'll give them a few minutes to get that updated and live here in Thurston County. So let's see. Whoops, I went back to the wrong page. There we go. Elections main page. Election results. Nope. All right. Statewide. Let's go. Secretary of State. You can find this at results.vote.wa.gov. So, let's see what we've got. Check the turnout. Well, they're all zeros. Okay, so we don't have them posted yet. But again, last updated 8:01. It's 8:04 now by my clock. So we'll give them a few minutes to get those up and keep setting the stage in the meantime. So in the governor's race, what we are looking for is we'd love to see a surprisingly strong finish from the Green Party candidate, Liz Hallock. I'm interested to hear more from Henry Clay Dennison. I don't know anything about him, but Socialist Workers Party, that's interesting. But those are minor candidates in the race generally. And really, the narrative with the governor's race is what is the Republican Party going to do? Um, and basically, are they going to go with the trigger happy, far right, militia loving Lauren Culp, or are they going to go in a different direction? So we will see on that one as well. Race, okay. Oh, most recent update from Ryan Grimm is. Oh, let me put this back on. Let me put Twitter back on the screen here. So Ryan Grimm has an update from Missouri. Cori Bush is now within 3,500 votes. That is excellent. That's a competitive race. We'd love to see Cori up, but a competitive race is a good thing. So um, let's see. Oh, there's a headline. Polling shows Rashida Tlaib with blowout lead as Michigan primary gets underway. All right, I'll take it. Oh man, that's great. I don't actually know who they were putting up against Rashida. I have full confidence in her reelection, but that's good to see because Rashida is one of the best in the country by a lot. Oh, it's official. Rashida Tlaib has won her primary. Okay, that's good news. That's one. Um, but nice. All right, give this local results page another refresh. Nope. Whew. Let's see. All right, if you are watching, hi, and thanks for joining. Basically, we're just waiting. Oh, there we go. We got some Washington State results rolling in. So, um, oof, Lauren Culp looks to be running away with the Republican nomination, which is not surprising. We're in Trump America, and he's a gun-toting, protester-hating sheriff. So that's not too surprising, but yikes, yikes. I will have to talk more about Lauren Culp going forward on the show. And yeah, if you have any interesting comments on that, feel free to post. If you have interest in any other races going on around the country or any comments, please comment down below, and I'll take a look at that. So we're waiting for the Thurston County results, though. Oh, I didn't say the percent here. So, oh yeah, so this is not a lot of ballots. So you can go to the Secretary of State page, which I've linked in the description, and take a look at their election results for statewide stuff. You can click on turnout to see how much we have so far. So yeah, so this is only a few of the counties reporting. So those statewide races, are just really indecisive. You really can't say too much except for how they're doing in specific counties. So not too much to say there yet at this point, but we'll take a look as more statewide results roll in, and we'll keep hitting refresh on the Thurston County one until we get something there. So the news from a couple minutes ago was Rashida Tlaib won her primary. That was announced. I saw that from Ryan Grimm. We are waiting on results from the Cori Bush race. Last I saw, Cori pulled within 3,500. Here's a post from day Shi Kim Jr. Vote Shirei for state by today. Our future depends on it. Let's see. So we'll take a look at some of those other statewide races, and I'm less familiar with the Seattle and Tacoma races. So yeah, if you have an opinion on those, please comment below. So, but yeah, we are looking for. Oh, here's an update from Joseph O'Sullivan. King County election results posted. Inslee with 70%. Terribly surprising. Let's see. More positive feelings for Cori Bush on the TL. Let's see. Ryan Grimm says, quote, given the number of votes outstanding, the big margin Clay racked up in absentees, and the margin Bush is winning on election day, this race looks like it'll be very close. But I think I'd rather be Bush, currently down by 3,400 votes. So that's an optimistic take. I like it. I like it. All right. We'll just keep going back and refreshing here. Let's see. Oh, I wasn't seeing the chat. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Not to break, but our chains says the race that stuck out to me was the insurance commissioner going by the pamphlet. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Who did you support for insurance commissioner? So let's see. Carl Hiltbrunner says Freed is up on Colt and King. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. I was looking at those first numbers, and again, you can't really tell too much statewide because those are only a few specific counties reporting, and those were all pretty rural counties we were looking at. Let's see. Carl Hiltbrunner also says insurance commissioner second place is a troll and might make top 2, LOL. Okay, we'll see. Let's see. The autistic savant. Let's see. Carl Hiltbrunner says, I'm curious about Secretary of State. That is true. Kim Wyman's been in there a long time, and it will definitely be interesting to see how Kim Wyman does. I agree. Though I'm not terribly excited about her challengers, personally, but, you know. Okay, well, we have some first results for Thurston County. We have a 24.84% turnout so far, with 47,238 ballots cast. And loading. Loading. Let's see. Not to break but our chains, replied Welty is who I went with. Something about Creedler sets off my red flags-a-meter. Okay. Yeah, I think, or Kreidler, I think it actually is. But yeah, he's another one that's been there a long time. So, all right, let's see. District 3, Jamie Herrera Butler is doing fine. District 10, Jackson Maynard with 8%. I don't even know who that is. And I reviewed the book. All right, Christine Reeves, 13.15. Joshua Collins with 1.06 so far. Oof. Ryan Ingram with 11.74. Beth Dolio with 21.15. Very strong finish here by Dolio. Let's see. Marilyn Strickland, 18.84. So, with 43,000 votes cast. Okay. So, it looks like what we have is, let's see, 5-point lead for Strickland over third place Reeves. and Collins out of the picture. So you really it would take a lot at this point to give us any other result here than Dolio versus Strickland in the general election. So um, interesting. Okay. Well, we'll have to talk more about that in the future, um, because I was busy supporting Collins there. So that was my angle in the primary. The general election is obviously a different environment. So interesting. Let's move on to see what it is looking like at the governor's level. Tim Eyman with 6%. Okay, have fun with that. Yeah. So uh, nothing nothing really interesting to report here. It looks like in the governor's race. So much. We have Inslee with a majority. Culp with 23 is far and away the strongest finish by a Republican in the governor's race. So it's definitely going to be Inslee versus Culp in the general, which is, I mean, Culp's just out to he's he's kind of like a Trump. He's just really out to hold rallies and rally up his folks and probably sell some books or whatever afterwards. So I don't think he can beat Inslee, and not a terribly surprising result, but that seems like a pretty strong 1 and 2 there. So you can pretty much write that one down. Let's see. Moving on to Lieutenant Governor Denny Heck, absolutely crushing the field. Ouch. And that's not surprising because dude gets himself on TV all the time, and is well known in the MSNBC crowd for going on and talking tough against Trump. Oh man, see, this is what I'm saying. So for some people, like the big money Democrats, they have big parties on election night, and it's just a big celebration because their people always are, well, the majority of the time are winning because they've got the money, and so it's just a big party. But as a leftist, primaries are tough. They're a lesson in reality every time. So, but we just roll through and learn what we can and move forward. So Kim Wyman looks like a strong first place, 58-36 over Gail Tarleton on Secretary of State. Not terribly surprising there, but we'll see. Let's see. Mike Pellicotti for treasurer. Pat McCarthy has the edge in the auditor race with 50%. Attorney General Bob Ferguson's got 57 and crushing the field. Not terribly surprising either. Commissioner of Public Lands Hillary Franz, the Democrat running for re-election as the incumbent, running away with it with 52.64. Also not terribly surprising. Superintendent, let's see. So this was sort of a temperature check on how people feel about Chris Reichdahl after his first term there. I'm not a fan. He's a big centrist, and um, there are more specific reasons we could talk about. But I'm not a huge fan of his. But just wasn't a leftist candidate in the superintendent race. So. And it looks like he's running away with it, 46. Second place is Maya Espinosa with 21.5. Ron Higgins with 19.3. So it's really a pretty strong finish for Reichdahl, which is no surprise at all, again, given his institutional strength going into it as the Democratic incumbent. Mike Kreidler is doing fine, and the insurance commissioner won. Welty with 11.14, Patel with 25.31. So that Kreidler's got that one. Kreidler, I keep doing that. So Let me take a look at the comments. Do we have any new stuff? Cross, not to break, but our chains comments. Crossing my fingers, good space guy makes it to the general. Well, I know you're joking, but but please no, no. Anyway, all right, where are we at here? LD2 senator. Let's see. Yeah, that's not too nothing too surprising gonna come out of District 2. Oh, we have Veronica Witcher Rocket with a pretty strong finish here against JT Wilcox, 37.79 to 41.82. And I would say that's probably within the margin of error. It would be tough to be overcoming that deficit, um, but that's interesting. That's a pretty strong finish. Um, she's a bit more of a centrist Democrat, but also, young and newer to running for office at this type of level, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that seems like a pretty strong finish there. Um, and a lot of these races, there just wasn't any challengers. So like John Braun here. So we've got to make sure we are finding a leftist somewhere in every district and supporting them to run for office. 20, I don't really know about that race enough to comment. 22, Sam Hunt, 58.74. Yeah, well, that's not surprising, but again, I'm not a fan of Sam Hunt as a leftist. Every time he comes up, I'll talk about when he was at a fundraiser and he said, "Pull out I hope you brought your checkbooks. I like the ones with a lot of zeros on them." So that's the Sam Hunt Democrat. But again, there's just no one challenging there. So let's see. LD22, Johnny Meade with not a strong finish. Sad to say. Not, you know, it was a real long shot there. But what we were hoping was you could get enough support that he could make it competitive with J.D. Ingram for second place and make it to the general against Dolan. But that does not look to be the case. And Dolan has just run away with it with 62-67 here. So that's that. Condolences to the Johnny Meade campaign. I will say again that first time candidates, it's very tough. And even if you're a good candidate and I like you a lot, the reality is that the first time is just really tough. And you are generally not going to be competitive until at least your second run. So if to Johnny and all of the folks organizing with Puget Sound Socialist Party and Green Party and others that supported Johnny, I would just say, as, keep running, run again, learn and grow and keep running. So thank you so much to Johnny Meade for running and bringing socialist ideas into the District 22 primary, and that effort will continue. So moving on to the position 2 race, we have, that is not, that's the opposite of the results I was looking for. Oh man, primaries are tough. All right, I'll read them. Fine. We have Dusty Pierpoint, first place with 35.13. I was paying attention to this race, and I have no idea who that is. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sure I read his blurb in the pamphlet or whatever, but um, oof, yeah. Jessica Bateman second with 3509. So that's margin of error between the two, um, Bateman is basically the centrist um, candidate, centrist Democrat, um, with support from some of the more conservative lobbies among the Democratic crowd in Olympia, and Mary Ellen Biggerstaff there in third place with 13.61, which is not a deficit she's going to make up. So, thank you so much to Mary Ellen Biggerstaff for running a explicitly socialist campaign, for continuing the fight for Medicare for all, which was her signature issue, and just being a working class parent, especially running for office. Running for office is brutal, and it takes a ton of work and emotional work as well, really stress and everything. So when you're a working class person and you are making a major run for one of these seats, and you get a strong third place there with 13.5%, that is something to feel good about. So congratulations on earning all of those votes to Mary Ellen, and that's a strong finish. So, and again, like I was saying with Johnny Mead, first time candidates have a really hard time. Jessica Bateman had a big on ramp here as a city councilor and a Democratic Party insider. And so that was a tough hill to climb. And Mary Ellen Biggerstaff had the DSA and a few others, and working class folks, and some Bernie people, and others, socialists, and so on. So to that strong finish is a good thing, and she can continue to build on that in order to be in a position to win next time, or whatever she chooses to do next as a community organizer, really, more importantly. So, and Glenda Breiler with fourth place finish, 10.62, which um, fourth place is tough, but if you're a fourth place candidate and you still break 10%, that's actually a pretty competitive and interesting race. And usually people coalesce around the top, two or three people. So if you're fourth place and you're getting over 10%, that I would consider that a strong finish. And just like I was saying for Mary Ellen, everything applies. This was a first run for Glenda, and that is a finish to be proud of and to build upon. So not remotely the outcome I was looking for in that race. But we move on and continue organizing. So let's keep scrolling. Let's see, LD 35. I don't think I have anything to say there. County commissioners. Here we go. Carolina Mejia in first place in District 1. Interesting. Interesting. With 30.78. So that is very interesting. So Rory did not do so well with, let's see, so that's like fifth place, a fifth place, 7.33%. Again, first time candidate, young, and everything. So congratulations to Rory for running a great campaign. Thank you for running, again, as a working class individual. And especially, Rory was out in the evenings as a street medic in the Black Lives Matter movement over these past couple of months, and talking to folks and just being all over in the community, helping folks. So he used this time as a candidate very well, and isn't moving on. But thank you to Rory for running. Carolina, very strong first place. That's good news. The interesting thing here, though, is what you have is second, third, and fourth place are split between C. Davis, Bud Blake, and John Hutchings. They are all conservative Republicans, whether they run as such or as independents or whatever. But they really split the vote there. So that's like 50% that they got all combined roughly, and so that's going to be Carolina Mejia with a strong first place with 30.78. But the general election, what you're going to have is all these folks who are supporting Davis, Blake, and Hutchings. I think a tiny number of them are going to support Carolina. I think the vast majority of them are going to support the one of those three who moves on. It looks at this time to be C. Davis, which not a fan, not a fan at all. So I don't think I want to get into too much personal stuff right now, but that is a extremely disappointing and distressing, honestly, result. Um, so moving on to District 2, Edwards over Stedman, 55 to 45. Whatever. Stedman spent a ridiculous amount of money on this race, so I'm sure he is very frustrated right now. But, you know, you didn't do absolutely nothing to earn the vote of leftists like me, so bummer. Let's see. Moving on to the judge here, Sharonda Amamilo running away with the Superior Court Position 8 race. And that's about all I'm going to look at. So, county level, disappointing results from a leftist perspective. Not something I'm unfamiliar with. Let's take one more look at the state results here to see the updates. So yeah, we got lots more ballots now. So let's take a look at state executive. Governor Inslee with 52. So that's only gone up, and Lauren Culp's gone down to 16.7. Okay, all right. Let's see if there's any change in the lieutenant governor race. Denny Heck's lead has come down a bit. Marco Lias with a much stronger looking finish than the first results. So Marco Lias is up to 1665, and I believe that's second place now, right? Yeah. So not I supported Marco in this race, and I'd like to see him even here with Heck. But if we can get Marco Lias into the general election as Heck's opponent, that's interesting. So, Secretary of State, Kim Wyman's lead has been maintained, and not really interested in these other ones this year, which there's just been kind of a disappointing group of candidates statewide. Here in Thurston County in District 22, we had a bunch of options, but statewide, there were just not a lot of leftist options in Washington State. So let's take a look and see if we have an update. Yeah, Puget Sound Socialist Party noting the Johnny Meade race results. And so Rashida won her re-election primary tonight. That's good. And we're awaiting results from Cory Bush.